What you're looking at right here is probably the most simple view of how business has affected our world. This, to me, is an indication of the very success of business spreading community in and through our world. Every point of light indicates business activity, civilization as we know it. Now, some of it may be good, some of it may be bad, but this is communities of individuals working and living together, creating shelter and food, commerce. This is a map of where productivity is. Passion is that business itself in the 21st century is what is carrying community into our world. The basics of business, which are based on legal and accounting and HR and marketing and capitalization, these basics are being taught and spread into all of these areas. Now, some of them, admittedly, are through autocratic governments. Some of them are through monarchies. But if you have a look at this trend, you will find the majority of growth is through what we'd call pro-Western style, positive business interaction. My business is business on mission. Our business is business on mission. We're about helping businesses grow. And on the big scheme of this, the world is a better place for communities that are strong and interdependent and trading with one another. The barriers are being broken down. Cultural barriers are being broken down. Economic barriers are being broken down. And sure, we have some problems in America with infiltration of low wages from overseas. Absolutely. But we also have had problems in the past of infiltration of wages for lower class, for slaves. All of that being said and done, as we learn to live together, grow together, interact together, and this is the world we're living in the 21st century, everything will start to filter out, and the basics of treating each other with respect, everybody created equal, will come to play. Now, here locally in Redlands, here locally in California, the key issue is, can we create new business growth? Now, the RedlandsMill is, in a small way, and I'll say a very small way, when you look at this map, we're not even a dot. But, nonetheless, the philosophy is the same. We're about turning the lights on. We're about creating profit, wealth, retained earnings, resources to better the community that we live in, the families that we help support, and the stakeholders in the business. This is a triple net take-home. This is not about the owner of the business. This is about the community that it sits in. And this is the community of Redlands. This is about the people who the business directly affects, the stakeholders, the clients, and also the people who are involved in the business. The bottom line here is business used to be seen as an individual owning something and taking profit. That really is old school. It's old school because, in actual fact, it's false. It's about the community being benefited by the growth of the business, helping employ people, have better morals, values, ethics, integrity, really bringing the power of people living together, working together, creating value together. Actually, down under, we talk about retained earnings, and those retained earnings are an asset to the community. So, as a brief wrap-up, when you look at this, this is the future of strong business growth and humanity. If you don't believe it, what happens when an entire continent's lights go out? What's happened in that continent? And this has happened in some areas. When civil war breaks out, when in Japan the tsunami hits, what happens when the lights go out? So the flip side of that is, as we're growing, as we are creating value here in Redlands, we are here creating value for the benefit of our community and hopefully for California, and ultimately we should be setting an example for the rest of the world of good civic relations. That's it. It's a bit philosophical, but that's the core of what is driving this at the RedlandsMill.